Hello there. Welcome. Come on in. Gather around. Come on. Let's sit down. This is going to be a quick thoughts. It's a little episode that I do. I talk about things that's outside of my norm. Like today, we're going to be looking at the political environment that we're dealing with right now. Also, we're going to look at what happened last Saturday. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. There was an attempt on the life of the ex past president and future running president. We guess we don't know. We'll see. But there are some things that is happening. I watched a lot of videos and information on what was being said and where they made blunders and they made mishaps and stuff like that. First of all, I just want to say to all the people out there that you should be ashamed of yourself if you wish that this person was executed doing this. You don't wish death on nobody. As bad as he may talk, as bad as he carry himself, he's still a person. He's still a human, and also he got family, he got kids. You don't want nobody wishing nothing like that on you. I wouldn't wish that on you. I wouldn't wish that on my enemy. So if you was kind of celebrating the fact that it almost happened, then I think you need to just reflect on yourself and get a little bit more respect for the human life. But also, I think what happened last Saturday, I think it was actually being a message sent. I think it was a message to say, you get in there and you act up this time, we can let them get to you if we want to. I think that was the message. I don't think it was that, there was a lot of things in those videos that I saw where, I mean, people actually saw the guy climbing on the roof before it even happened. They even let the police know. And then you hear the story about the two police, the guy hoisted the other guy up and he climbed up the ladder and got up there and pulled himself up or however it happened. And the guy pointed the gun at him. I mean, with all of that commotion that was going on, they supposed to have people out there in the crowd and know what's happening, or they got somebody observing. And then some people even said, where was the drones? Where was the helicopters flying around? If you had a helicopter flying around, then they would have noticed somebody, scooting across the roof. And the thing about it, one of the things is, I think it was known about, but I just honestly feel that they knew this person wasn't a professional, and they knew that he wasn't going to get that job done. So, and from what I'm expecting, they had three sniper teams out there. Oh, I forgot to cut on my. Oh, you know what? Yeah, they had three sniper teams out there, and come on, you can't let stuff like that happen. And you got to remember, the world is watching, even though nobody thinks. They think it's the United States or the old United States, but the world is watching. They're looking at everything, and this thing is making a mockery of the United States. But what I really want to talk about here, real quick, real quick, real might quick, I want to talk about Democrat or Republican. Why are you a Democrat? Why are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat because your parents told you to become a Democrat? Or are you a Democrat because Democrat stands for your views and what you believe in, and they're working for you? Also, if you're a Republican, why are you a Republican? Why? Is it the views? Or is it that your grandparents was Republican, your great grandparents were Republican, and you were born in a family of Republicans and you're going to be a Republican? And then also, I want you to take the political environment and I want you to compare it to football for one moment. Just think about this. How do we know after the game? Those football players on the field, they trying to hurt each other. I'm gonna smash him. But after the game, they take off the helmets, they take off the jerseys. They there laughing, giving each other dap, and talking about when they were younger or played for the same team or whatever. So think about it. Trump was a Democrat before, and he helped fund, if I'm not mistaken, Jesse Jackson's political campaign. So Trump knows Biden by both. Either he was a Democrat or an independent. I don't believe he was a Republican back then. And but now it's like they're the biggest enemies. But are they? They're two old white guys. They not really fighting each other. You don't know if after those debates they ask each other, "Hey, what you doing after you leave here, man? I'm going to the steakhouse, and I'm gonna get me a prime rib, or I'm gonna get me a filet mignon. You know, you should join me." You got to look at this political stuff, man. A lot of this stuff in America, with all the knowledge and equipment that we have now, we're starting to see some things are very fake, very fake. A lot of things are fake. A lot of things aren't true. The technology is showing how things really go. The technology is really opening our eyes and doors up because everybody got a cell phone. Everybody can film something now at the blink of an eye. You're going to whip out that cell phone, you're going to hit video. Boom. Then we got access to a lot of news channels. And now that, you got the Fire Stick, you can watch the news in every city. You can see what's going on in every city. And it's just a thing that we got to make sure that we're not being played like fools. Like I always felt like when they come to the African American community and start requesting votes and things like that, I always feel like you don't come around no other time. But now you want to come around and just tell me what I want to hear so you can get a little bit of something. What does that sound like? You tell me, what does that sound like? Any other time, you're not really coming back, going into the schools, going into the black churches and all of that. And then you're definitely not doing it when you're not in political power. So are you just doing it to use us? And I'm talking about both. I'm not just talking about the Democrats. I'm talking about the Republicans too. At least we know the Republicans don't mess with the black community that much. They do a little bit, but they know that's a uphill battle for them to try to get, more than about 25% of the black vote. But if they did come in the black community, they did come speak at the black churches, if they did visit the black schools or whatever, that 25% would be much higher. So we're just gonna say that I'm glad the guy's still alive, still breathing, and I mean it's one of those things. In my opinion, it's a 50-50 chance for both of those guys. Because to me, it's neither one of them is better than the other. They're kind of like the same if you really think about it. Because with Biden, you can't forget about that crime bill. Can't forget about that. And yeah, everybody's saying he took the second seat to a black president. But the thing was, though, he didn't have a choice. And he knew one day he wanted to be president. And if he wouldn't have took that position, probably would have never been able to be president because everybody would have been looking at him like, oh, he didn't want to be the vice presidential running mate for a black guy. So, like I said, I'm glad what happened Saturday didn't take the man's life. I don't want to say names on here because then everybody gonna say, oh, come in the comments and you this, you that, whatever. It's just that, man. Listen, some things shouldn't happen, and if you're going to be bragging on the Secret Service like that, they got to react faster, unless they were sending a message. We don't know who was sending a message, but they were sending a message because he got away with what happened that January 6th at the Capitol. He got away with that. Nothing. They did nothing. But this time, they letting them know, don't do no shit like that again. Because if you do, you're going to let them get to you. Because he know deep down inside, if they wanted to, that whole little incident could have went a totally different way. So be safe out there. Be careful. Make sure, you watching. And make sure everybody out there keep them phones going. We need this information because we ain't gonna believe it if we don't see it. And somebody has a cell phone somewhere. So just want to say peace, love, and blessings, and honor, respect, and duty. Easy now. Peace.